Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 1. This is part 2 of our Greataxe run, which, if you remember, in the first part, you don't get Greataxes for a while, so I essentially just started in the depths, because that's where you get your first Greataxe. So we essentially just started from there, skipping 3 bosses. But we got the Greataxe, and while we were there, we got the Dragon King Greataxe. We also got the Dragon Crest Shield, which is our shield for the run, or one of them at least, along with getting the Boots of the Explorer, because that's all we could really afford. And we got Hovel's Ring and Ring of Favor and Protection, because Greataxes are heavy, so we need the equip load. And we also rung the 2 different Bells of Awakening, which spawned Mr. Flesh Mustache over here. He's a delight. But as of recording, I wasn't sure how far I was gonna go here. I wasn't sure how far we were gonna make it, but I knew we were gonna start off in Sens Fortress, so off we go. And while looking, we had 3 large Titanite shards, which could get us 2 upgrades for the Greataxe or Radandre, but I decided not to do it because you can get, like here in Sens Fortress, you can get a decent chunk of large Titanite shards. I believe 6. So we parry to test out our damage, and takes a parry and a light attack, which maybe going and upgrading our Greataxe to +7 might turn that to a one-shot, but I decided against it for no reason at all. But we pick up 2 large Titanite shards, which puts us at 5, so we could get some more upgrades. We mustn't forget the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring, because stealth is good. And we head off, and we mustn't forget the Ring of Steel Protection, because physical defense is good as well. It's always helpful. And another 2 large Titanite shards, also helpful. And here, we pop this guy, find out that we can one-shot them with a parry, and we get a Titanite shard, which we didn't have any of. And I figured this would be really good because while we can't use it on the Greataxe, we still have the Dragon Crest Shield and the Boots of the Explorer. We'll get to that when we get to that, because oh boy. But we take out another guy, and something that I'd kind of noticed before but decided to look at more now was on the left side of your chest, over where your heart would be, in hollow form, there's these like veins or vines. They reminded me of the Bed of Chaos. And I don't know if that's just like an aesthetic thing or if there's like a lore reason for it, but I'd be interested to know because it looks kind of cool. And there's usually a reason for things. But while we're here, Flamestone Plate Ring, because fire defense is also very good. And off we go to avoid the giant until we can get up to him, which, very sad, but near the end of the last run with axes, we killed Goff, who was a whole lot more complicated than these guys. Which, good attack to happen while I say these guys are simple, but these guys are pretty simple. Which is a little sad, but 3k and a Titanite chunk, always good. And I thought it was kind of funny that you could roll through those. And I was thinking it would be kind of cool if there was an item there for people who decided to roll through giant boulders. But alas, there's nothing. But with him dead, we are free to come on down and pick up the items, which is another 2 large Titanite shards, leading up to the 6, and a soul, because souls are always very nice, and the bonfire, because just like defense, bonfires are very, very helpful. And at this point, we had 9, so we could get all of the upgrades from +5 to +10. But before heading on back, we decided to kill this giant, because why not? Which, again, fairly simple, very easy to punish. Now, there's not any reason to kill them yet, because we can't use Titanite chunks. We simply can't. Not yet. But it's good to just get them out of the way now, just to make sure I don't forget, and because we're here anyways. But heading on back to Andre, we say hi, and go to start our upgrades, which 14 base, 12 additional, that's 26 damage, bit higher than a normal upgrade. And then head on down, because, yeah, and 14 base and 7 additional, yeah, so that's another 21. I'm just doing quick math just by looking at it, so I'm sorry if I get any of these numbers wrong. But another 14 base, 8 additional, that's 22 damage on paper. Which, on paper, doesn't always translate to what you actually do, but more damage is more damage. And here, another 14 base, another 7 additional, another 21 damage, which, these are pretty big numbers for single increases. And then 14, 7, so 21 total. And we get our Greataxe to +10. Again, sorry if I get any of those numbers wrong. I'm doing this off the top of my head. But it was here that I realized, oh, this is what the dragon skills are for. I mentioned, I believe it was last run, that I didn't know what they were for, and I wasn't going to look them up. I was just going to wait until they became pertinent to any of my runs, which, not pertinent to this run, even though it's a Greataxe, because I'm simply not going to use it. Or at least I don't think I'm going to use it, but good to know. And here I realized, oh, the Dragon Crest shield doesn't take Titanite shards. It takes Twinkling Titanite, which, this is when I realized maybe Titanite shards aren't going to be useful this run anymore. Now, I haven't had any problem with the shield yet. The stability has been very serviceable so far, but 55 to 57, 57 to 59, we have the Twinkling Titanite, we have the souls. There's no reason not to do it, so we did it. And here I decided to take a longer look, just to really try to find where these pants are that we're wearing. And I did 2 full comb throughs, because I thought I remembered them being right under the hard leather pants, but they weren't here. So I was going, alright, let me just move away from Andre and check in the inventory, and I saw that they're under them, but they're directly under the Black Sorcerer boots. And so we go to look at the Black Sorcerer boots, and then just go 1 down. Which, yeah, this is when I found out you can't upgrade this. You can't upgrade any part of the adventure set, as I would later find out. And I do have a second set, like, planned for this, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But for now, we have the souls, so I just buy the repair box. Because going to Anor Londo, we're going to be pretty far away from Andre. So we go up and spend our souls before heading on off to Mr. Man over here. Which we take that off because it's not useful to us. And we go in with 7 Estus. And with that being said, I will let this attempt play itself out. He was very much not a fan of going down, like he usually is, but still, 40,000. We beat him, and we beat him with a Greataxe plus 10, Boots of the Explorer, Hovel's Ring, Ring of Favor and Protection, and 1 Sip of the Estus, because we came in with 7. And we beat him at level 45 with 20 Vitality, 25 Endurance, 32 Strength, 13 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. Now, before going into the boss, I did have enough souls to do 1 level, but I decided not to for no reason. But with that, we examined the Ring of Light, so we can head on off to Anor Londo. Which, cool cutscene. I like it. Pointy architecture. Hopefully they don't drop us on one of those roofs and skewer us. They didn't, so I'm sure that they're fine and good and will not attack us later and stab us in the back with a lightning bolt. Won't happen at all. But we pop the boss soul, because it's for an axe, not a great axe. And then we check how many levels we can get. And normally I get close to a level, but not quite this time. Didn't happen, which was very, very nice. And I was thinking about putting these 5 levels into endurance, but then I remembered I'm only wearing pants. And Ornstein and Smough hit pretty hard. And I have pretty low vitality, so want to get a bit up there in vitality as to a not get like 1 to 2 shot, hopefully. But we move on where there's these guys, which I normally just skip this fight, but 1 shot, then we 2-hand, do a heavy attack, which stuns them again, and a light attack. So we killed him in 3 swings. The Greataxe is a pretty good weapon. But it's important to note that we're a shirtless beef jerky person. Which is probably why Solaire doesn't want to talk to us here. And then I realized, oh yeah, Dark Souls 1 is weird.
Oh.
And you don't talk to NPCs by walking in front of them. You talk to them by walking to the side of them. Which is weird. But whatever, Dark Souls is gonna Dark Souls. So we get the bonfire, sit down, and move on. Where we take out this bat demon and grab a Titanite chunk. Please ignore the fact that I'm down to 1 Estus here. I'm very bad at parrying spear, guys. I've never learned how, I'm sorry. but we decided to take out this clown. I don't know why they're called Royal Guards. They're not very good at guarding. Especially not the Titanite chunks that they have. The tasty, tasty Titanite chunks that they just have on their person for some reason. But again, we don't have much Estus, so we're gonna go cash in the souls we have and then head on back once we're fully equipped. And you can not use that on me. Thank you. And another Titanite chunk. How kind of you, how kind of you. That's so nice. Alright, now hopefully we're not gonna skip ahead because this guy hits us. But we skip ahead because he hits us. We pop a humanity because it heals us. Because I really didn't want to use any Estus. But we head on in with 10 Estus still, thankfully. And with that being said, I will let this fight play itself out. Whew. That was certainly a fight. Man. I don't think Ornstein and Smough has ever gotten me like that. Especially when... Especially when Smough rushed me with its charge attack. When I was like 2 inches in front of him. And that one really got me. I have no idea how to deal with that. But everyone always told me that, like, before I started going in, or before I started playing Dark Souls 1, they always told me that going through and killing Ornstein first was the way to go. And for the most part, that's how I've been doing it, but I think outside of the Great Hammer run, which you need to kill Smough for, I think I'm going to give Ornstein a few shots, because Ornstein, at least for me, has less health and is slower and is harder to hit. He has less openings in Phase 1. And so it's just a lot easier to kill Smough in Phase 1, at least for me. And so I think I'll do that 1 or 2 times to see how that goes. But we beat him with the Greataxe plus 10, Dragon Crest Shield plus 2, Boots of the Explorer, Hovel's Ring, Ring of Favor and Protection, and all 10 Sips of Orestes. So good thing we popped that Humanity. And we beat him at level 52 with 25 Vitality, 27 Endurance, 32 Strength, 13 Dexterity, 11 Resistance. And we beat him first try. So with that, we were free to open the door and speak to a sadly disappointing NPC. It's nothing against her. It's just yada 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 yada. Thank you for the Lord Vessel. Yada yada yada. Let me get up. Let me leave. Thank you. It's just, I'll never forget the Healy Ring. That's kind of on Dark Souls 3, but I'm too addicted to the Healy Ring. It set my expectations too high. So, sorry, but I need the Healy Ring. But we got 3 levels. 3 levels into Endurance gives us a nice even 30. No other reason. But with that, we are free to head on off to Firelink to go get the very large ember in New Londo Ruins. Which, while heading on in, I decided to take this off, and I realized with the Greataxe, the Dragon Crest Shield, and the boots, we no longer need Hovel's Ring to light roll. Like, yeah, with more armor we'll need to bring it back on, but for now, we just need Favor and Protection and 30 Endurance. So, for right now, that gives us a free ring slot to put on the Wolf Ring, because the enemies here are very good at stun locking you if you don't have good poise, so we need that. And we're free to head on off. Where we used the key to the seal to open this up, because we got it from what's-his-face with the Lord Vessel. We open that up, get rid of the water, do some funky camera work, which that does that on its own. I don't press anything there, but we're free to head on down. And I died from getting stun locked because the Wolf Ring didn't help. At least not enough, but that's why we lost our humanity and some souls. But it's fine, because we got the very large ember. And I didn't show it, but both parrying and backstabs with the plus 10 Greataxe one-shot. But also, I had the gold serpent ring on, which brings my item discovery from 100 to 300. But I still didn't get a single Titanite chunk, because they were being very stingy today. But we head on through, still getting 0 chunks. Because they were being very, very, extremely stingy. And I don't know why, but there are some chests that give us guaranteed chunks. Which is nice, but still. 300 item discovery. You'd think you'd get 1. At least 1. Which we did. After killing like 7 of these guys. But we got him, and oh, I forgot I didn't kill you. Because there were ghosts and some dark raids and him, and yeah. But another chest, another Titanite chunk, and I check, and that put us at 9. And I figured, okay, we need 9 to get to plus 14. And we could get to plus 15 if we had a slab. Which, we don't have a slab on us, but I think I know where to get one. So we decided to just head on off, because we're not fighting 4 kings. And Northern Undead Asylum. Because, I mean, Stray Demon, we didn't kill them. Killed a few bosses before, but not him. And with taking off our shield, because we're not going to need it, we drop on in with 10 Estus, and I will let this attempt play itself out. And we get a Titanite slab, which I actually didn't go and upgrade the Greataxe before this, because I wanted to go from 10 to 15 all in one, but our damage seemed fine, so. And we beat him with the Greataxe plus 10, and Boots of the Explorer, Ring of Steel Protection, Ring of Favor and Protection, and 1 sip of the Estus, because gravity hurts. And we beat him at level 55 with 25 vitality, 30 endurance, 32 strength, 13 dexterity, 11 resistance, and we beat him first try. And with that, we are free to put our shield back on and then head over to get ourselves the peculiar doll for the painted world of Ariamis. And we miss a parry, but it's okay because Oscar is scared. Because he knows that when we get a successful parry off, we one-shot. Because this thing is a powerhouse. It always one-shots. It didn't one-shot, it didn't one-shot. Ooh. I'm not panicking. Oh, come on, you're panicking. Why are you panicking? There's no reason to panic. This thing's a powerhouse. But here, we decided to look at the two, because they're both crushed shields, and they've got the same shape, they've got the same color palette, but the crest shield has a crest, which makes sense, and dragon crest shield has a dragon, which makes sense. So moving on, and we come back, and Andre is very impressed with our very large ember, and we give it to him because we can't use it. But we look over, 14 base, 14 additional, so that's 28 damage. Like I said, I'm just looking at this and doing the math off the top of my head, so sorry if I get any of this wrong. But good damage. Good damage increase. We don't need it, but we have the resources, so why not? And it'll make up for the weapon being very, very slow. But we move on, we go down, we find it again, and 14 base, 8 additional, so that's 22 damage on paper. Again, we really don't need these, but we'll take them. And 14 base, 8 additional, so that's 22 damage. 14 base, 15 additional, so that's 29 damage increase, along with our parameter bonus going from C to B. Which something I've noticed is the jump from 13 to 14 is usually better than the jump from 14 to 15, even though the jump to 15 requires a much rarer resource, which is strange to me, but 14 base, 8 additional, that's another 22 damage increase. And just like that, Greataxe plus 15. And we have not gotten any of the major Lord Souls. So, yeah, that's why I go down to the new Londo Ruins first, because it's very good. But from there, we head on off back to Firelink, because there's one more thing to do. Which, it's talk to this guy. This friend of ours.
Aye, Shemai.
Whatever that
Didn't
means,
expect
yeah.
to meet anybody here. I suppose great minds think
So-
alike, eh?
I figured since we can roll with our current setup without Howl's Ring, what could we do with Howl's Ring? How much more could we wear? But also, not only do we have this as our first set, but we also have a second set in mind, the Golem set, which I didn't know this at the time, but I figured out soon after. Also can't be upgraded, which is a bit of an oof. So yeah, those Titanite shards are really just worthless, unless we get a different axe. But here I was looking at the different weights and just all the different stats, because the Golem set is cheaper and more defensive, which is nice. But it weighs more and doesn't look as good. So 2 good things, 2 bad things for both of the sets. And I was trying to figure out if I had enough souls and if buying the armor right now would be worth it. Because we can only wear one set at a time. And I've got some souls, so I could possibly get some levels. But after a bit of back and forth, I did eventually decide to buy it, which the Golem set you can only buy one of. I'm assuming Smough set is going to be the same, whereas this set you can buy more than one, as seen by the pants, which didn't have enough
Thank you.
for
That
the
was a
chest
fine
piece.
trade. I have this funny
But
feeling we'll meet again
it's
soon,
okay,
and we'll...
because we have some poppable souls. And we have the soul of Smough, which that's to create a great hammer, I'm assuming, not a great axe.
I suppose...
So we're fine to pop that. Or at least we should be. With that, I buy the Armor of the Glorious.
Thank you.
We have all of our armor now. And I'm not going to show you any of the testing, because I did a lot of testing to see how much I could wear. In the end, I found I could wear the entire adventure set except for the chest piece or the Golem pants. And that was it. So, that was a bit of an oof, but moving on. So we took a break and came back the next day, got 20,000 souls, so that way we could buy ourselves the Crest of Artorias, because there's one more thing we want to look at. One DPS check boss that we want to see. And while coming to the door for the Crest of Artorias, I remembered something. We didn't kill Moonlight Butterfly, but whatever, we can do that at the start of the next part. for now, I'm set on Sif. So, we put on some extra armor, make sure we can light roll in it, and then we go on, and I will let this fight play itself out. Them walking around in circles without attacking was a little funny to me. It was very stress-inducing during the fight itself, but looking back, it's kind of funny. But us having this overhead attack made that fight pretty hard, because kind of hard to hit a thing when it's got thin, little skinny legs, along with us being a very slow. Like, very surprising that we didn't get hit. But anyways, Greataxe plus 15, Dragon Crest Shield plus 2, Helm of the Wise, Gauntlets of the Vanquisher, Boots of the Explorer, Hovel's Ring, Ring of Favor and Protection, 0 sips of the Estus Flask. And we beat him at level 55 with 25 Vitality, 30 Endurance, 32 Strength, 13 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. Still very surprised that we didn't get hit at all, considering how slow we are. But I didn't come here for Sif. I came here for the Covenant of Artorias, because I want to take on the real boss here. 4 kings. So let's get to it. So we pop a humanity to get our health back. And with 10 Estus, we decide to go on in and drop our way down all the way to the bottom of the abyss. And with that being said, I will let this fight play itself out. The beginning there was a little unfortunate, especially since our shield isn't good against blocking magic, and his physical swing was before the magic, but anyways. Greataxe plus 15, Dragon Crest Shield plus 2, Boots of the Explorer, Covenant of Oratorius, Ring of Favor and Protection, 2 sips of the Estus Flask. And we beat him at level 57 with 25 Vitality, 32 Endurance, 32 Strength, 13 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. Now, the reason why I came here and did this fight so early was because... Why are you here? Hold on. Why are you here? Are you mad that I fought the bosses in, like, the wrong order or something? Because I just came down here because I've always heard the Four Kings were DPS check, and I had really good, like, this is a really strong weapon class. That's the only reason I came down here. Don't be mad at me. I hate you being surrounded in the darkness. That's terrifying.
Greetings.
Your voice is different.
Warrior. I am the primordial serpent, Darkstalker Ka.
That's probably why your voice is different.
I can guide thee and illuminate the truth.
No, but I'll hear you
I
out.
shall share without sentiment.
I hope not.
After the advent of fire, the ancient lords found the three souls, but your progenitor found a fourth, unique soul, the Dark Soul. Your ancestor claimed the Dark Soul and waited for fire to subside. And soon the flames did fade, and only dark remained.
Why are some words like dark and fire uppercase as if they're like a person?
Lord Gwyn trembled at the dark.
Who is the
clinging
dark?
To his age of fire, and
Because
in
it's
dire
capitalized
fear
like
of
it's
humans,
a name.
and the Dark Lord who would one day be born amongst them.
Dark Lord I understand,
Lord
but
Gwyn resisted the course of nature by sacrificing himself to link the fire and commanding his children.
the fire is
to
over
shepherd the humans.
uppercase. Why?
Gwyn has blurred your past to prevent the birth of the Dark Lord.
Gwyn rewriting history,
I
okay.
am the primordial serpent.
The
I seek to right the wrongs of
the one and only?
to discover our true Lord. But the other serpent, Frabbed, lost his sense
And
befriended
gained a
Lord
flesh
Gwyn.
mustache.
Undead warrior, we stand at a crossroads. Only I know the truth about your fate. You must destroy the fading Lord Gwyn, who has coddled fire and resisted nature, and become the fourth Lord, so that you may usher in an age of dark.
What? I mean, screw Gwyn. He smacks us a lot with a big fire damage weapon, so yeah, but I'm not happy about it.
Very well. I shall now guide you to Gwyn's prison.
What?
Be still.
Wait, no.
and
No, hold on.
trust thine
hold-
flesh to me.
No, I do not. Is this like... Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be like the whatchamacallit. The Gravelord Nito Covenant, where you get transported to a different location, and then they're like, you can serve this Covenant. There's someone mowing the grass outside, I'm sorry if you hear that.
This is Gwyn's prison. Now,
Is it his prison?
place the Lord vessel upon
I feel
the
like he could
altar.
probably just leave if he wanted to. But also, Framd comes down from up there. He comes down from up there, and this one comes up from down there. Why?
What is it? Place the Lord vessel upon the altar.
Okay. Now, it was about here that I realized... God, that's loud. That probably a good idea... Like, it probably would have been a good idea to do this during my evil character. But I didn't know this. I didn't know about this back then. Why is that so loud, goddamn? Hopefully you don't hear it, because, like, people dying in the background is very loud to me, but the mic apparently didn't pick up on it, so hopefully it doesn't pick up on that. And hopefully this laser beam kills Frampt. It goes right through where Frampt would normally be, so... But he was probably out on vacation or some plot convenience. But this kind of confused me, because both Frampt and this new one, Koth, they said their name was, they both ask for the same thing, which is to go kill Gwyn.
Very well. Once the vessel is
Which is
filled
weird.
with souls, the gate to Gwyn shall open. Seek Gravelord Leto, the Witch of Izalith,
You mean Bit of
and the
Chaos?
traitor, Sith the Scaleless.
Traitor to
Fill
good
this
bosses
vessel with
then?
their souls. Then the gate will open, so that you may kill Gwyn.
I mean, Bit of Chaos is worse, but...
Are you ready? Then
No.
let us return to the abyss
No, why?
and trust thy
There's nothing
flesh
there.
to
Why
lead.
would we go back? Why would we go back? Is this just an excuse to eat me? Do I taste good? I look like beef jerky. What? I love how they spit you out. It's really funny to me. Same with the flesh mustache that flops all over the place. That's pretty funny too. I hate it, but it's kind of funny. But
If you wish, I shall grant the art of life drain,
life
the
drain?
legendary power of the Dark Lord.
Life
Can
drain?
preserve your humanity while undead.
Life
Cast
drain?
off the shackles placed upon your brethren.
I don't care about knocking off shackles. I care about sucking the life out of things. But hey, it is a covenant. Shoulda known, shoulda known. But, what? What? I already got one of those. From killing the Dark Raids. That's lame. Ask for a covenant item, what? Oh, I don't care about those. I don't care for PvP, so... I mean, we can offer humanity, but I'm not going to.
Undead warrior.
That's
to
me.
Speak now is premature.
That's a weird way to say
It
premature.
begins with your retrieval of the Lord Vessel.
I already did that! We already went and got it.
Every last one of them.
The other
They
primordial
were
serpents,
strong,
or
but saw not the truth.
undead?
I am certain that you will prove different.
I'm assuming you mean
They failed.
us, the undead warriors.
Farewell.
Mm-hmm. Well, this ran on longer than expected, but we found a covenant, and we got good progress. I mean, we went through Sens Fortress, we went through Anor Londo, we got the Lord Vessel, we got Lord Soul Shard, we got our Greataxe to plus 15. We made really good progress today. We found an entirely new NPC, and yeah,